Evening everyone. I've had some new things come through the post, so I thought I would share them with you. You'll have to excuse my nose. I have got the most terriblest cold. Where I said I thought I was fighting a cold off, well, I haven't fought it off. I've been absolutely dreadful for the last couple of days, sniffling all the time, but we still have to continue on, don't we? Got to keep going. So I'll show you what I've got in the post. We have a package. Right. My husband's lent me his new tool and he says it's very sharp and I've got to be careful. So I'm going to get into this without cutting my fingers, else he won't be very pleased with me. Oh, another box. Sure how to do this. Oh, that's it. There we are. All safe and sound. Still got fingers. Right. I'm going to have to rip this off. There we are. Look at that. I'm not going to be absolutely wet through with sweat next time I get on the treadmill. There we are. That was going to blow straight up in the air, straight at me. So I can put that side of the treadmill or at the front of the treadmill and it's going to be brilliant. Right, packages. Now look at this, great big whacking box for this. Right, I got this to replace my kettle. Well battered, well used, and actually I thought this was going to be a bit smaller than this, even though it did say 1 to 1.5 litres. I don't know whether, just let me move you a little bit, I don't know whether I've got myself in frame. So I should have known it was quite big if it holds 1.5 litres, excuse my nose. So I'm quite happy with it. It just, I wasn't expecting it to be quite as big as this. Yeah, excuse me while I chuck everything all over the floor. So this is going to replace my kettle. Now I thought this weighs, does this weigh the same as my kettle? Have I wasted my time? But thinking about it, I can cook rice, boil in the bag, cook food in this, so I haven't got to take another pan. It's like one pot wonder, where my kettle I'd have to take another pan with me, wouldn't I, or a frying pan. I saw a 1 egg frying pan today when I was in Aldi, and it was about this big, tiny little handle, and I was very tempted, and I thought, but then would I use it when I were, you know, if I'm hiking? I mean, if was normal camping and the van was handy, you know, if you camped on a campsite, the van would be handy, so I could chuck anything in. So I could take my stuff out the caravan frying pans out of the caravan, or I could take my cook pot that I showed you the other day. So I kept looking at it and thought, no, I won't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh this and weigh me battered kettle and see what difference there is. So put this, switch it on. I've had to go and put a new battery in my scales. So let me put my glasses on. Can't see a thing without my glasses. Right. So we're doing this in grams. So this is 189 grams for the kettle. So with the lid, 276 grams. So if I were going by weight, I'd be taking the kettle, wouldn't I? But if I find a small pot that I would have took, as well as the kettle, or a small frying pan, and compare the weight, well, we'll have to see. But I think this is more usable than just a kettle, because I can heat my you have to excuse me, I wanted to sneeze, that's why I suddenly stopped talking. My nose is tickling me, I'm ever so sorry. So my bags of food, which one I'll go and show you, let me go and find them. This is what I normally take when I want a hot meal, and looks like a sandwich box, doesn't it? Miss Fork. Right, that's one of my bag of food, and I think this is a lamb. Hold on, glasses time. A lamb casserole. Right, and inside here is the heater, like for the army have for the MRIs, and they just put water onto one of these little packets that's inside here, and then pop it in a bag, and then pop the MRI inside the bag, and it all heats up. Well, this is the same thing, but it's more like a plastic lunchbox. So your water and the contents of that sachet goes in there, that goes in there, and then you stick that in there. You can put a tiny bit of water in, or you can empty this out into there. But when you empty that out into there, it gets that hot, you can't eat it. So you have to wait for it to cool down a bit. And then you've got your protection base. Now altogether, this is quite heavy. Let's have a weigh. We won't include the food or the heater, and also for curiosity, or the spoon. So we'll stick that on there. Hold on, I have to switch it on. Zero it. Now that's 359 grams. So that's quite heavy. So if you're going for lightweight, the kettle and this to or hold on, let me show you. So if I don't take the kettle, I take this, and this does the same thing. I mean, this one is Yellowstone and this one is Yellowstone, but there is another make. They're about the same. So this does the same thing, and you put a little pack in the bottom of there, water. You put your water and your hot chocolate in there, and it all starts to heat up. and you just fasten it up, and you've got hot chocolate. But I've discovered something about this. This is alright in the summer. I went up Higator. And the water I was carrying was in just normal, like runner's water bottle in my side pocket. Never thought nothing of it, filled it up like I normally do in the summer, stuck it in my side pocket, off we went to walk. We was out probably 2 to 3 hours before I decided I wanted a drink, and when I put the water in here to get warmed up by the little package in the bottom, it never, I could feel that this bottom was getting hot, but the water, some hot chocolate, was only lukewarm, because the water that I've been carrying around all day was absolutely freezing. I didn't realise this. I just thought, why isn't it working? Have I got a faulty packet, little packet? Because sometimes you can get faulty ones and they don't really work very well. But when I got back to the car, and I decided I wanted another drink, I decided to just drink water, and I picked the bottle up and drunk it. Oh, my teeth, God, so cold. In fact, it probably was on the verge of starting. If I hadn't been moving and keeping the water jolting about in the bottle, I think it would have frozen. But I mean, I was walking up Higator in the snow and the freezing cold wind, so I decided, oh, shall I take a flask next time it's cold, or shall I take my kettle and my stove? So if I was taking this and this, we would be quite heavy. So zero it again and put both of them on. So we've got 359 for the box, and then add that, we've got 599 grams. So that's quite heavy compared to this at 200. Hold on, it's messing about. I've got something touching it. 277. So that is a big difference. Except I've got to add my stove on now, haven't I? So let me find my stove. The dogs are barking, so that must mean Mark's home. So he'll be sticking his head round that door again, wanting to know what I'm up to. Yes, I can hear him. That's him. I'll switch it off. You don't know I'm videoing. So I'm going to weigh this in the bag. See what this weighs. This is my stove. And hang on a minute. $418. So if we had this to the top of it, 694. So the new system is slightly heavier than the old system, but the new system is more flexible. I can do more things because with this you can't do rice, the packet ones like this, but the rice ones, this is a new one I found. This is a couscous one. I'll tell you about that in a minute. It doesn't get hot enough to boil anything, so you can only kind of warm pre-cooked food up in it. And let's have a see. I think this is a little bit more bulkier than this and this together. Chucking things around today, aren't I? Look at that. So, as well, I suppose you could drink out of that, but you could do with the cup as well. So, all in all, this actually is going to be heavier. Well, I don't know whether you're going to be able to hear me, but I've just been on a 10-mile race with the dogs, and it turned into nearly 11, and it was cold and rainy and icy, and you know that cold that I said I'd got? Well, now I've hardly got any voice, so I'm hoping you can understand what I'm saying. But I do have to say that this is a bit better than it's been all day, because earlier on my husband couldn't understand a word I was saying, so it has improved. Unless I talk too much and then it gets worse. In fact, at one point I couldn't get anything out of it at all. So I'm going to put a few photos up of the race, and there probably won't be no more videos for a bit till my voice comes back, because you can't really talk to the video when your voice is a squeaky little thing. So I'll see you next video.